Leading the Nightline tonight, approximately 5,000 hectares of unused land in the BUKIT SABAN area has the potential to be developed through a strategic partnership with an experienced plantation company. Deputy Premier Sarawak Dr. Ahmad Douglas Uga Amba stated that following discussions with Bertong Member of Parliament, Dr. Richard Rabu, a comprehensive development plan is being drafted to cultivate the land.
Syarikat penanaman kelapa sawit juga yang juga berminat. Maka kita telah pun berusaha untuk berbincang dengan tuan punya tanah. Kerana sebahagian tanah belum dapat ada title, masih tidak ada title, maka ada satu persefahaman antara tuan punya tanah supaya tidak jadi isu nanti. Kita harap program ini dapat kita jalankan dalam tahun depan. Kerana di kawasan ini memang ramai banyak yang telah menanam kelapa sawit dengan secara kecil-kecilan, smallholders.
He emphasizes that negotiations with landowners will continue, especially since some areas still do not have legal ownership, to avoid future issues. In another development, Uga urges rural residents, particularly those with late registered red birth certificates, to check and update their personal information at the National Registration Department JPN. He emphasizes that this will help avoid future complications in dealing with government departments and agencies, as some old birth certificates lack important details such as the owner's ethnicity.
Kita cuma saya beritahu tadi bahawa siapa kita mempunyai surat dari lahir late registration yang berwarna merah, dan dalam itu kaji dengan baik. Kalau tidak menyebut bangsa di situ, ia perlu kita tukar. Kerana satu hari kita tidak tahu. Mungkin pihak berkuasa menggunakan satu dokumen itu untuk menentu sama ada you are Iban, you are Melayu. So kalau tidak ada dalam surat itu, jadi ia akan jadi masalah seperti yang saya telah hadapi beberapa bulan yang lepas. So my advice is go to the JPN. There's no complication. They will give you the new duplicate title with indication of your race, and that will resolve whatever problem you can face in future.
After what seems to be a long time, Americans finally get to see the file they have been wanting to see, the Epstein files following his untimely death while in custody. However, what was released seems to be more aggravating to many due to the fact that people who had relations or somehow connected to the sex offender weren't named, including the President Donald Trump himself. Though the Department of Justice, DOJ, released some new files, including transcripts, it also removed more than a dozen others from its website related to Epstein with no explanations. Lawmakers and American citizens alike slammed the over-redaction of the files, where almost 16 files disappeared.
The Justice Department's document dump this afternoon does not comply with Thomas Massie and my Epstein Transparency Act. They released one document from a New York grand jury of 119 pages, totally blacked out. This despite a federal judge ordering them to release that document. And our law requires them to explain redactions. There's not a single explanation for why that entire document was redacted. We have not seen the draft indictment that implicates other rich and powerful men who were on Epstein's rape island, who either watched the abuse of young girls or participated in the abuse of young girls and the sex trafficking.
He went on to reiterate Pam Bondi, who is the current head of the DOJ. She claims previously that there were no more files to be shown and suddenly now admits and releases more documents, but they are incomplete due to redaction. This violates her position as the U.S. Attorney General who should fight against lies or half-truths. Meanwhile, Americans think that the redacted documents and the amount of time taken for it to be released is part of the government's plan to allow the issue to quote-unquote die out.
I think, the longer you play it out, the more people lose interest, and I think that's probably the play here. I think the hope is people lose interest, and then they can release it at a time and say, look, we released it, but at that point in time, it's maybe too late.
Obviously, some of the famous people we knew have been pictured with Epstein. We already know of their relationship, so that hasn't really changed anything. But it hasn't answered the length of what has been going on behind the scenes.
The absence of references to Trump was notable, given that pictures and documents related to him have trickled out of previous Epstein releases for years.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious to me that the delay had everything to do with Trump's Justice Department to redact anything and everything that would tell the truth about Trump and the files. So I think I'm not surprised. Every hour, every day, every week of a delay was to make sure that nothing in there would be known public about Donald Trump.
At least 10 people were killed and 10 others wounded in a shooting at a tavern in BUKIT Township, west of Johannesburg. According to South African Broadcasting Corporation News, the attack occurred overnight at a KwaNoSolo tavern in a Tambo section when a known gunman opened fire on patrons inside the venue and those gathered outside. The injured were taken to nearby hospitals for treatment. Police confirmed 10 deaths and stated that officers were still at the scene as investigations continued. Gauteng Acting Police Commissioner Fred Kekana announced the deployment of multiple units, including the National Crime and Management Team, the Provincial Crime Scene Management Team, the Local Criminal Records Centre, the Serious Crime Investigating Team, Crime Intelligence and the Provincial Crime Detective Team. And WHO warns that progress against famine in Gaza remains extremely fragile after the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification (IPC) reported that no areas in Gaza are currently classified as facing famine. Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus states Gaza's population continues to suffer from widespread infrastructure destruction, collapsed livelihoods and food production, along with ongoing restrictions on humanitarian operations. Tedros noted that more than 100,000 children and 37,000 pregnant and breastfeeding women are still projected to suffer acute malnutrition through April next year, while only 50% of Gaza's health facilities are partially functional and facing shortages of essential supplies and equipment. According to the latest IPC report, no areas in Gaza are currently classified as facing famine, following a ceasefire signed in October. While recent developments amid the fragile ceasefire, including a proposed peace plan and improved food inflows, have helped ease the most extreme conditions, the IPC warned that the outlook remains grave. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim stresses the importance of Cambodia and Thailand upholding the spirit of dialogue, wisdom and mutual respect to ease tensions and safeguard peace and stability in the ASEAN region. On the Facebook post, he raises the matter during separate telephone conversations with the Prime Ministers of Cambodia and Thailand, Hun Manet and Anutin Charnvirakul, respectively, during which they exchanged views and discussed the best way forward to de-escalate tensions between the two countries. Meanwhile, Wisma Putra in a statement today says that the special meeting of ASEAN foreign ministers on the latest situation between Cambodia and Thailand, to be held tomorrow in Kuala Lumpur, is a follow-up to the agreement reached by Anwar and the Prime Ministers of Cambodia and Thailand on December 11. As Malaysia's ASEAN chair, the meeting will be chaired by Foreign Minister Dato Sri Muhammad Hassan. On to the next update. Malaysia's Christmas festive season maximum price control scheme will be enforced for 5 days from December 23 to 27, covering 14 control items nationwide. Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister Dr. Armiza Muhammad Ali says the enforcement period includes 2 days before Christmas, on Christmas Day, and 2 days after the celebration.
dalam musim prime ini yang cuba untuk mengambil kesempatan untuk membuat pakatan menaikkan harga. Jadi dengan adanya harga maksimum ini kita dapat pastikan apa juga keadaan setiap peniaga akan menjual pada paras maksimum. Tidak boleh lebih daripada paras maksimum yang ditetapkan oleh kerajaan. Jadi ini dia rasional di sebalik kita melaksanakan skim harga maksimum musim perayaan ini, dan kita harap melalui penganjuran skim harga maksimum musim perayaan ini kita akan dapat membantu meringankan kos-kos tambahan yang perlu dikeluarkan oleh rakyat kita, khususnya bagi mereka yang meraihkan sambutan Christmas.
Among the items placed under price control are imported bone-in mutton, imported round cabbage, carrots from China, tomatoes and red chilies. Also included are green bell peppers, large red onions, large yellow onions, imported potatoes from China, chicken wings and live-old chickens in Sarawak. Meanwhile, live pigs at farms, pork belly and pork meats are controlled only in Sabah, Sarawak and the Federal Territory of Labuan. Amazon says the scheme will be enforced under the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011, allowing authorities to take action against traders who violate price regulations. In a related development, he also announced that 875 Madani Rama Christmas sales programs will be held nationwide from December 18 to 27. Back on crime, police arrested 2 foreign men and seized nearly 1 kilogram of drugs along with a revolver and live ammunition during a raid on a container workshop in Perai early this morning. The suspects, aged 39 and 53, were detained around 1 a.m. by personnel from the Perai police station following an inspection that uncovered a .38 caliber revolver hidden in one suspect's waistband. Seberang Perai Tengah District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner ECP Helmi Ari said that further inspection on one of the suspects found a .38 caliber revolver hidden at the waistband of his trousers. According to Helmi, police also seized a Nissan Almera car and drug paraphernalia. He said 2 suspects have been remanded for 1 week, starting today until next December 27 for further investigation. Meanwhile, the case is being investigated under Section 8 of the Firearms Increased Penalties Act 1971, Section 8(a) of the Arms Act 1960, and Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Get all the updates you need all in one app. TVS Inspire brings you live updates on events, news and programs. Available now on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. TVS Inspire will on your screen all time. And those are the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Shulch Marato. Thank you for watching and have a good night.